Everything's always the same at the mall. I mean, you have the same temperature and the air smells the same all the time and the scenery is the same. They even try like to bring in trees and something that's green, but like right now, that's false. That's not real. If you come here during the winter, those leaves are still going to be green, and outside the trees are going to be bare. It's always the same.
Though some tenants claim they were not officially told what was going on, they didn't need a crystal ball to predict the end of their time at the Kaleidoscope Mall.
Sally's, famous hamburgers, named it after our daughter.
Now she and her husband Keith have 3 weeks to close down their business.
I'm sure going to miss all my customers.
The 33-year-old Kaleidoscope will be demolished for a new 33-story tower, which will change the city's skyline.
If all goes well to the construction timeline, this will be Des Moines' third tallest building.
Sparks are saying goodbye to people every day, set to move the end of the month.
No tears yet, but there will be that week. Yeah, sure going to miss it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dead Mall series. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 80s time capsule stuck in its day, the abandoned Kaleidoscope at the Hub in downtown Des Moines, Iowa. Just getting to this mall, if you're not an office worker, is kind of a chore. You have to find parking and then navigate through the skywalks just to get there, and that may be a contributing factor to why it died. But anyways, let's head into the elevator and make the journey across downtown to this historic relic. In the 1980s, downtown Des Moines was like any other Midwest city downtown. Blighted, old, and not the place it once was. Commercial traffic and business were all leaving, heading out west to the suburbs of Urbandale. New malls like Valley West and Southridge were taking traffic and leaving behind these husks now known as the Rust Belt. And here is the lengthy process of me trying to get to the mall, which is basically just me wandering through the skywalks in the general direction of it, asking for directions constantly for someone to tell me or point me in the direction. So here's a little bit of me walking, and here are the natural sounds that you hear in the Des Moines skywalk system. This mall never really did well. It was opened in October of 1985 by Hubble Realty, and it costs around $48 million to construct, $119 million today, as a hopeful revitalization of the Des Moines area, and to bring people back to the downtown and give them something in the city. The mall's opening was rushed, and it only opened with about 14% occupancy. The deal with Kaleidoscope was that it was supposed to open later with more retailers like Gucci and other high-end name brands as some sort of high-end mall. But everything about it was rushed. The construction, the tenants, almost none of them were ready to move in, and more than half the mall hadn't even found anyone yet to fill these spaces. So coming up here is the outside of the mall, which just screams 80s with the colors and shapes. But entering it, there's no music or anything, except for this guy. Sweet tunes, by the way. Just the rush of office workers and the cold winter wind. While a rushed disaster of an opening, Kaleidoscope is still beautiful. All the tiles for the flooring were imported from Italy, and all the detailing in the mall was an 80s sort of way to revitalize the Art Deco look in the city. Hubble was really pushing for this to be the fancy mall, but when people got there on opening day, they were just greeted to a half-finished mall with little to no shopping options. It was sort of like Hubble had sealed their own fate with Kaleidoscope, because your typical mall brands did want to open here, but Hubble never wanted this, turning them down and waiting for brands like Brooks Brothers, quoting, "We could just fill it to have the space occupied. We could have let tenants in. More of the type you'd expect to find at a strip center or a budget center, but number one, that's not what we want, and number two, those people can't afford the rents here." So yeah, they were really all out for this. They're kind of the stuck-up mall of the city, I guess. So after all this, the worst opening of a beautiful mall that almost instantly no one cared about, you were left with just long halls of vacancies. The Des Moines Register quotes, "Some of these spaces in the mall were never filled." Can you imagine that? Some of the stores I'm walking by, since the mall opened almost 40 years ago, have never been occupied. That's absolutely bizarre to me. But as funny and depressing as this all is, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. This mall was sort of a success in the 90s, but not as Hubble expected. The skywalks, which the mall was connected to on all sides, were the best way for workers in the city to get from building to building. And when downtown still had department stores like JCPenney and Yonkers, the mall connected these all up, so the mall was a really good route for people to walk through, and in the early 2000s it was when the mall saw its highest occupancy, with the food court area being the most popular. Here in this empty mallway of garbage cans covering where trees once were, you're flanked with glass storefronts that have been closed off throughout the years, and if you trip further and further back, you're taken to the mall's sanctuary of plants and fauna. What a wild and beautiful sight of forgotten 80s nostalgia. Here's a glass storefront which is suspended in the skywalk itself over the road, something really unique, and I'm surprised this prime retail location was abandoned. So I'll leave you for a little bit with the mall's beautiful architecture and dead and neglectful sites. When I was filming, a guy approached me and wanted to tell me some fun facts, so that's coming up after this.
saying is, you would think that whoever designed this would have everything in place, perfect. Every little square, every color, everything would go, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? Look in the corner over there. See the 4 white squares around it?
Yeah.
There's one missing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
No, that.
Yeah.
And they left it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Because this is like, I don't know, this is like perfect.
Everything's in place.
Yeah.
Except for that one.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, they've been putting this off for a while. I think the company that did it ran out of money. Financial problems. I won't say ran out of money. They just ran into some financial problems. Yeah, they were going to put a high rise here, 30 stories.
Really?
Yeah, big one.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's sad because it's like a beautiful mall. Because malls nowadays, they're just a thing of the past. So
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
it is sad.
But yeah, all up here was all, you get eats up here. All kind of vendors up there.
Wow.
Same with on this floor here.
It's been crazy to see this place in its heyday.
And then this was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
But then now that the pandemic hit, you know, it's just going to sit. But the good thing is that the people that work and the people that, whoever's still working in these buildings, it's a great cut through to other buildings.
Yeah, I mean,
For
that's
the skywalk.
That's pretty much what this place is, just a big skywalk for people. It's just like a walk through it and don't even know what's going on here.
Yeah,
They don't even remember.
yeah. It's just really bizarre.
So I didn't get his name, but he was really nice. But yeah, like he said, this was the main mall area with the food court on the 3rd level and stores flanking all around in a big sort of circle on the 1st and 2nd levels. Now there's nothing, and when you peer into old spaces, you can see the slow decay beginning. When Yonkers closed their flagship store in 2006 is when Kaleidoscope's Renaissance period ended. Each year more and more tenants started to leave and the food court was slowly vacated, and in 2012 Hubble ended up selling the mall to EMC. Just 2 years later, hopes for the former Yonkers space to be renovated were shattered when the entire building burned to the ground. EMC at this time would sell the mall to Blackbird Investment Group, who planned on demolishing the whole mall in 2019. With almost no business left inside, they planned on building a 33-story condo tower on the site, but then Blackbird would fail to make payments of up to $100,000 and ended up canceling the whole project. The city terminated their deal with Blackbird and acquired the mall, leaving it like it is today. The once supposed to be gleaming high-end mall of downtown Des Moines with its rough start and troubled history of failures is just left today, slowly starting to show decay in the garbage everywhere and falling ceiling tiles and buckets. No upkeep happens here, and people just walk through the abandoned malls of skywalk and don't even bat an eye to think about what this place was once supposed to be. In 2018, the Polk County Assessor's Office valued the mall at, drumroll please, $100. $100? That's it? In their own words, the mall is tired and functionally obsolete. And yeah, I can agree with that when there's literally garbage covering the ground level and everything's been blocked off and the ceiling is starting to fall apart and you have buckets everywhere. So, I don't know, if you're in the neighborhood looking for a mall, $100, easy grabs. Anyways, everyone, that brings an end to today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Next week, we'll be heading across the city to the quiet suburbs of Clive. You probably know which mall I'm thinking of. Thank you all for watching. Hit the subscribe button. We're closing in on 1,000. But anyways, have yourselves a lovely day and see you all next week. Peace out.